Hi, and welcome to my channel, Sweeter Lifestyle. Today, I just want to chat with you about a few changes I've made in the last little while and taking those changes to their natural conclusion. Intrigued? Well, that's the point. Let's chat. I'm going to jump right in though. I've been making changes to my TV watching and movie viewing. I had stopped watching TV shows for some time now, and I was a moderate TV watcher, but I was faithful to my shows. I think I was selective in the shows that I did watch, however. TV shows have the power to interject so much about the life and characters of these fictitious people. You get to know them and can predict how they would react in any given situation. This was pleasing to me. It also brought with it lifestyles and choices, which, though part of everyday life, seem to have a more hyper glamorized view of those lifestyles, or there seemed to be an agenda that was driving the narratives in many cases. In addition, as the plot thickens, you often have the ability to see what some of the characters cannot see. It's very exciting. You may find yourself mentally trying to inform or warn those unfortunate characters who can't see what you can. Hmm, it's not very realistic to life, is it? When you think about it. Only God gets to see us all as we live. The other issue was movies. Yes, I was very selective, but I was an avid movie watcher. The most rewarding aspect of some movies was that I had the uncanny ability to read through the story and pick the perpetrator in convoluted murder plots or the villain in other nail biting, on the edge of your seat movies. My family didn't like watching movies with me for that very reason, and I was prohibited from making any predictions on the movie being watched. I really thought that was fascinating to do until gradually I began to realize that I was thinking like the perpetrator or villain to be able to figure out his or her personage. At the very least, I was reading the crumbs that the writer had intertwined into the storylines, knowing thoughts that I had kept pushing away. But finally, I sat myself down and realized that I was exposing myself to nefarious and unrighteous lines of reasoning. Not to mention that I often felt a little bit depressed, even after watching a situation comedy or a sitcom. It took me a while, but finally I cut out TV shows, except for shows like The Amazing Race and baking show competitions, I confess. But those were the ones that I would watch. That was it. For movies, I cut out the ones that were not based on true stories. Unfortunately, some were very loosely based on the actual accuracy of the said story. I began to reason that these were all time wasters with no appreciable benefit for me. At least, not a benefit that lasted in a meaningful and uplifting way. For a week now, my husband and I have been without cable as we have chosen to terminate our cable. A choice we made to abstain from the easy availability of TV fare, including, for me, those innocuous TV movies with their happy ever after endings. When my husband called to cancel with the cable company, of course they tried to entice him with many incentives to stay with them. My husband was able to give them a firm no. We do still have internet, but we don't use it for movies. Nor do I have TV streaming apps as well, so no worries there. I am finding abstinence definitely easier now. This past week, I have had a sense of accomplishment. Even though I wasn't watching TV, having cable, just knowing that I could when I wanted to, was like having a safety blanket, if you will. Throwing the blanket away was liberating. This right here is definitely a component of a sweeter lifestyle, for me anyway. I find that I have so much more time on my hands that can be channeled in many creative ways and outlets. What a great life changer it has been to have eased off TV watching and now to have ultimately cut off cable. So that's my happy, joy moment. See you next time.